Hi, I'm Rasola, and apparently I have an accent. But apparently it's not even just me. Apparently people all over the country, all over the world, say things differently. So I thought it would be fun to pull up this article of 50 words people pronounce differently across America, and to pronounce them and just make people unsubscribe in droves. This should be great. Word number 1 is bagel. Apparently, Midwesterners botched the word to sound like bagel. I've never met anyone that says bagel, but if you say bagel, let me know. Number 2, caramel. Ooh, that's a big one. I hear different pronunciations of this in my own house. There's caramel, and then there's caramel. Does it tell me who does what? The majority of the East Coast sees the word as 3 syllables, pronouncing it caramel. The West Coast and Midwest pronounce it with 2 syllables, caramel. Oh, okay. So if you're from the West Coast, remember, you're the worst coast. Number 3, syrup. Could you pass the syrup? No, but I can pass the syrup. Yes, the syrup versus syrup debate is a sticky one, but both pronunciations are considered acceptable. First off, great pun. Second off, if you actually say syrup instead of syrup, I want you to write the word sir as if you were saying yes sir, and take note of how there's no Y in that word. Number 4 is pajamas. In Midwestern states and Western states, you'll find the A in pajamas is pronounced like jam. So pajamas. But spend time in any southern or eastern state and you'll hear A as in father. Pajamas. Pajamas is the way to say it. And if you say it any other way, you're wrong. And as a side note, I think British people don't even say pajamas. I think British people say jumper. Number 5 is Nevada. Apparently people in Nevada say Nevada. If you're from Nevada, you're from Nevada. Number 6, I hate this one because I know I don't say this one correctly. I say the state of Oregon. And here it says, contrary to popular belief, it's not pronounced Oregon, but Oregon. Now here's the best part. I've actually met someone from Oregon, and she says organ, 2 syllables. Organ, like an internal organ. Number 7 is New Orleans. Some people say New Orleans, others say New Orleans. And a small subset even add an extra syllable to make it New Orleans. New Orleans? Number 8 is the Caribbean. Let me guess, Caribbean or Caribbean? Yeah. I think the only reason anyone says the Caribbean is because of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I think before the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, everyone just said Caribbean. I may be wrong, but maybe you're wrong. Think about that. Number 9. Ooh, this one pisses Sleepy off. Florida, the state. I say Florida. Normal people say Florida. And according to this, it says most pronounce it Florida. However, there's 3 other ways to pronounce it. Florida, or Florida. Number 10 is Texas. How do you pronounce Texas differently than Texas? 5% of respondents, primarily people in northern or Midwest states, say the state's name with a Z sound. What? Texas? Texas. Texas. And not Texas? Texas. You 5% are fucking weird, man. Number 11 is tour. Depending on who you ask, you could either embark on a tour of a city or a tour. Wait, what? A tour or a tour? Wait, and it says that the dictionaries tell you to say tour. Does anyone actually say tour and not tour? Does everyone just not say tour? You know, it's like a tourist. Nobody says tourist. Do they? Number 12 is a lawyer. Most Americans pronounce the word lawyer in such a way that the first syllable rhymes with boy. Boy, yeah, lawyer. Southerners emphasize the law in lawyer, so the first syllable makes a saw sound. So Southerners say lawyer instead of lawyer. Number 13, marry, marry, and marry. If you were to say the sentence, I feel merry about marrying Mary, would your pronunciations of marry, marry, and marry sound any different? Most Americans will find these words come out exactly the same. But if you're from a big city in the Northeast, then it's probable that the way you sound at each of these words differ, with marry taking on the same vowel as cat, marry taking on the same vowel as pet, meh, yeah, okay, and marry taking the same vowel as fair, marry. Yeah, I do that. Number 14 is the word caught. Do you hear a difference in pronunciation between the word caught and caught? If so, you probably didn't grow up in the West Coast or the Midwest. In Harvard Dialect Survey, the researchers found the majority of people from these regions pronounce the words the same way. People on the East Coast and in the South, meanwhile, tend to pronounce them distinctly differently. Of course you do. Caught. Caught. How can you pronounce these the same? They're spelled completely differently. One has a U in it, and an A, and a G, and an H. And one just has an O. Caught. Caught. Number 15 is envelope. Oh, I know this one. I hate this one. I say envelope, but I know some people say envelope. Number 16 is the word ant. Ant. I know how this one goes. If you're British, you say aunt. Actually, this word is really interesting. I like this word because it brings out this weird contradiction in both American and British English. So in Britain, they spell armor with a U, but they say armor. They don't say like armour. They don't pronounce the U. But for the word ant that has a U, they say aunt. They pronounce it, even though they don't pronounce it for like the word armor. Here, we spell armor without the U, because naturally we don't say the U. We say armor, we don't say armour. But for ant, we don't say aunt. It's weird. It's like both have this weird contradiction, and I find it kind of interesting. Number 17 is almond. What's the other way to say it? The various pronunciations of the word almond originate back to when many people were emigrating from Europe to the United States, bringing with them their native languages and thusly their own versions of various words. So call it an almond, an amend, or an almond. Regardless of pronunciation, you're referring to the same thing. Number 18 is salmon. Oh God. Given how many Americans are not native English speakers, it's no surprise that many are saying the word salmon with a distinguishable L sound. In languages like Spanish and Italian, the L in salmon is very much heard. Are there actually people in this world that say salmon? Number 19, I love this one because Sleepy hates this one, is pecan. Now, survey concluded there was no single pronunciation of the word designated for each area, with 45% of Southerners and 70% of Northeasterners favoring pecan. So that means a minority of people say pecan. Number 20, mayonnaise. In the West and Midwest, you'll put mayonnaise on your sandwich, and in the North and South, you'll use mayonnaise. I guess I'm from the West. Number 21 is cauliflower. How could you pronounce cauliflower differently? Cauliflower or cauliflower? In the Northeast, you're most likely to hear that pronounces E. Cauliflower. Cauliflower. How do you even distinguish a difference? Number 22, coyote. Apparently, if you're from the East, you're much more likely to say coyote. But if you're from Colorado or Wyoming, you say coyote. I've heard people say coyote, and it's always confused me. I thought they were just retarded. I didn't realize this was a choice. Number 23 is bit, like you bit into something. Somehow even three-letter words with one syllable have managed to take on several pronunciations. While the hefty majority of Americans pronounce the word bit like sit, there are some people, particularly in parts of Colorado, who say it like bet. And since bit sounds like bet then sounds like bat. What? Number 24, another one that pisses Sleepy off. I love these ones. The word grocery. What do you call the food items that you purchase in the supermarket? Groceries, of course, but not so fast. If you're from the Midwest, you might replace the sir sound with a sh sound, calling your shopping haul grosh. Uris instead. Groceries. Not Uris. Groceries. Oh, jeez. Number 25 is crayon. Some people pronounce crayon, rhyming it with dawn, others with man. So crayon and crayon. According to Crayola, arguably the top crayon experts, the correct way to say it is crayon. 26, mirror. How can you have another way to say the word mirror? When you're saying the words mirror and mirror, do you hear a significant difference? Yes, I do. Folks from the East Coast might be surprised to learn the answer to this question for some people is no, as a pronunciation of mirror just makes it one syllable, disregarding the or altogether. If there's an or in a word, just say it. Don't, just stop it. Stop being you. 27 is museum. No one's denying the word museum begins with a mu sound. They might disagree over how the word continues to be sounded out, some favoring museum, and others opting for the pronunciation museum. 28 is the word mischievous. The word mischievous is spelled so that it should be pronounced like mischievous. Exactly. A Harvard dialect survey found that over 26% of Americans pronounce the word with 4 syllables. Why? According to Merriam-Webster, a variant spelling of the word with an ius at the ending extended to the 16th century, though today both this spelling and pronunciation are considered non-standard. Mischievous. I feel like I used to hear that a lot when I was a kid. Number 29. Okay, this is one I hate. The word coupon. Some people say coupon, as if there's a Q in there somewhere. I want you to read the word coupon if you see a Q in it, alright? And then I want you to tell me where that Q is. And if you can't, then just say coupon. Or how about we just piss everyone off and we'll just call it a cowpon. Number 30, poem. Wherever you travel to in the United States, you'll find some people who pronounce the word poem as poem. 31 is flourish. Undoubtedly, Beyonce is flourishing. Why Beyonce? But is she flourishing, flourishing, or flourishing? She's flourishing. Flourishing. Right? Yeah. Many Midwesterners and Northerners who say flourish. Yeah. And some folks living in the Northeast who say flourish. Flourish. That sounds flourish. Sounds like Boston. 32. Bowie knife. Is it a Bowie knife or a Bowie knife? Well, I didn't say it either way, and now I feel bad. 33 is creek. The majority of Americans can agree on the fact that the E in creek is pronounced like seek. However, 4% of people noted that they pronounced the E in creek, so it sounded like sit. Crick. Most of these people are from Midwestern states like Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa. So you're going to tell me 4% of 330 million people say crick? Number 34, handkerchief. Does the last syllable of handkerchief sound the same as seek or sit? Per the Harvard dialect survey, most people in the Northeast would say seek. So E, chief, instead of chiff. While the rest of the country would go with sit. Well, see, that's just because us in the Northeast are superior. Number 35 is adult. Adult is considered to be a toilet paper roll word. That's to say, whether you choose to pronounce it like adult or adult, you are correct. Just as you'd be correct placing your toilet paper roll either under or over. Team under. Number 36 is asterisk. In parts of the Northeast, it's pronounced asterix. Up and down the northern coast, it's pronounced asterisk. And in the rest of the country, it's asterisk. That's a risky pronunciation. 37, realtor. How many syllables are there in realtor? Ask someone from the Northeast, they'll tell you there's only 2. Yeah, realtor. Ask someone from the Midwest or the South, and they're more likely to use 3 syllables, pronouncing it either realtor or realtor. What did you even do with the O in those pronunciations? And where did you get these E's from? What's wrong with you people? Number 38, Monday. Some people say the 7 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, and pronounce the second syllable so it rhymes with say. A small portion of the population, however, primarily in the South or Midwest, will say the syllable so that it rhymes with C. What? Monday? Tuesday? Are you crazy? Number 39, huge. Do you pronounce the letter H? If so, you're among the majority of Americans. 3% of respondents, mostly in the Northeast, don't pronounce the H sound. I'm saying words like huge, humor, humongous, and human. Well, I say the H. Number 40, quarter. Well, I already know I say that wrong. Most Americans pronounce the word quarter so that it has a KW sound at the beginning. Some people in Northeast or Midwestern regions pronounce this word so the first syllable has more of a K sound. Like quarter instead of quarter. But what about the ending? I say quarter instead of quarter. I say quarter. Gotta get that New York representation up in there. 41 is roof. How is there multiple ways to say the word roof? If you stayed in one place for your entire life, you might not even know there's more than one way to pronounce the word roof. But surprisingly, there are actually 2 common ways to pronounce this 4-letter word. While people born and raised in the West tend to pronounce the word as if it rhymes with hoof. There's people that say roof. You sound like a fucking dog. I probably don't say dog like other people either. 42 is a miracle. Literally, 42 is the meaning of life. But apparently, 42 is also the word miracle and people say it differently. Most Americans pronounce the first vowel in miracle so it sounds like knit. What? Miracle. However, people in the Northeast region tend to pronounce it so it sounds more like near. Yeah, wait a minute. Miracle. It's not a miracle. It's a miracle. Oh my god, do people say miracle instead of miracle? I've never heard anyone say miracle. Or if I have, I haven't noticed it. It's miracle. There's even a small group of people in the Northeast who pronounce the word to sound like net. A miracle? Oh god. 43. Really? Yes, really. Though the word really is pronounced differently across the country, it doesn't appear to be due to regional differences. In a dialect survey, people found people from the coast to coast pronounce it really, really, and really. Number 44 is insurance. Most people pronounce the word insurance with an emphasis on the second syllable, insurance. Some people in the country, mostly in the Northeast or Midwest, will emphasize the first syllable, calling it insurance. Yeah, insurance. I guess I'm in that second group. What's the other way to say it? Insurance. Insurance? I don't... Comment how you say it. If it's not insurance. Insurance. It's how do you say it? Number 45. Route. Yes. Northeasterners tend to pronounce it so it rhymes with hoot. Midwesterners pronounce it so it rhymes with out. Just over 30% of respondents said they pronounce it each way. Route and route. So I'm from the Northeast, so a lot of people I know would say, oh, I'm on Route 9. But at the same time, they didn't say route for everything. If you were on an interstate, you'd be like, I'm on route, insert the number. But if you were on route somewhere, you wouldn't say you were en route. At least that's the way I always heard it in New York. Etc. It's 46. There's not 1, not 2, but not 3, but 4 different ways to pronounce etc. Though the most popular way to say it is etc., like I said. Some people also say etc., etc., and etc. 47 is garage. Dialect differences have divided Americans into 2 categories. Those that say garage and those that say garage. 48 is get. This is a... How can you say get? Oh, I know. Southerners say get, don't they? The word get does not rhyme with yet here in the South, writes Sarah Johnson, a South Carolina native Southern accent specialist. We say it like get. In the North, you might say, you get what you get, so don't be upset. But that does not rhyme for us. We say, you get what you get, so don't throw a fit. And finally, number 50, the last word is pen. In some parts of the South, the word pen often rhymes with pin. What? A dialect project in the 90s conducted at North Carolina State University. This pattern can also be seen in words like tin and ten, windy and wendy, and sind and send. So what I've learned is the South is weird. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a fun thing to do. If you want to see any more videos like this where I talk about, I don't know, maybe I'll look up words that are only said in a New York accent, or maybe words that are only said in New York so I could flaunt how much better New York is to everywhere else. Or maybe you want to see a video of me like reacting to stereotypes of New York or of America or something. Maybe see how those apply to me. I don't know. I thought this video was fun to do. Leave a comment on what you thought, and thanks for watching, and bye-bye.